Dave, I know this year, and often you talk a lot about Will Smith's offensive performance, and obviously what he can do behind the plate and his defensive side of the game. But what he was able to do to kind of get this game started, those 3 outs, catching the runner, stealing, just how did that just shift the momentum, especially for Blake Snell and his outing tonight?
It was big. Obviously, we feel that Will's the best catcher in baseball, in totality. And tonight he showed it with his arm. And, essentially they played 24 outs. And so we look at that first inning and how the pitch count was creeping up there for Blake. But to get help by way of the caught stealings was huge. And it got Blake into rhythm. And anytime you get outs on the base, it was big, and so that was big from Will. And then Blake settled in nicely, and to see him get through 6 innings was certainly helpful. And I thought there was a lot of good. I thought the fastball started getting better. I thought the changeup started getting better, the slider better. So it was just really helpful, going into this last one. To have a good pen in line, and then have Glass taking them out to follow the lead of these last 2 guys.
Going into this series, we talked about just how valuable the off day was, and kind of guys being able to turn the page and kind of get back on track, and how this could be a good series to do that. How have you seen? I guess there's one more game, but how have you seen just that play out already in the complete baseball games? And do you feel like guys are kind of now treading back to where they're used to playing at such a high level?
I think so. That off day came at the right time, and I think the Padres coming to town came at the right time as well. As far as kind of like I talked about, kind of heightening the focus, and guys just came in fresh. You can just see there was a quiet intensity focus, but it started with starting pitching. I think that right now we all know that's a big strength of ours, and so when you get good starting performances and they'll put 0 in the first and catch a lead, then you can kind of play a little bit more free and easy.
How nice has it been to be on the other side of some of these games where it's the other team that's doing some of the little things wrong and be able to capitalize on that?
It's certainly nice to be on the other side of things. Obviously the last month you can see from watching us play tonight, there's things that we just don't do well to not help ourselves. And the last couple nights we've caught some breaks, whether it's a play out in center field or some walks. But for us to take advantage of them has been huge.
Are you surprised how aggressive they were on the bases early on against Blake?
They know them, they've had them, so there must have been something that they were keying on or saw some type of competitive advantage. But fortunately, Will made some great throws and kept them at bay. But I wasn't terribly surprised.
Did your guys kind of adjust in that first inning when we started seeing Cease missing in the zone, or just kind of what do you think about being able to build that kind of inning there with a guy who's struggling to command it?
I thought it was great. I think, the guy that has big stuff, it's hard to trust getting deep into a count, running a count, taking close pitches, but, clearly he was being a little bit too fine and getting behind hitters, and our guys were taking walks, which was big, and got the pitch count up and couldn't get him through 4. So, got to look at some other guys in the pen, and so that was good. But credit to the hitting guys and the players to just kind of, weather the stuff and kind of run counts.
We saw you tip your cap to Conforto on that 2-run, 2-out single, and then he has shared that you guys had a conversation. Could you share with us a little bit on what it is that got his confidence up tonight?
Yeah, no, I just kind of, reassured Michael, the expectation and kind of how I see he can be the better player, and just to be able to, get base hits and driving runs and shorten his swing. And I don't know, the last couple nights I've seen just better at bat quality, and he's come up with a couple big hits for us. So I think for me it was just that the hat tip was just reassuring that I just really proud of the way he's still fighting. And when you're hitting in that part of the order, that's what we need. You gotta have a short swing, and you gotta be able to move the ball forward and drive runs in, because a lot of times, innings are gonna be falling to you. And so, even that bat versus, that lefty to kind of shorten up and get a base hit the other way, we hadn't seen that in a while. And so, we need him to be a hitter and not a slugger. And, that's what, so I was really happy to see that.
And Henriquez threw the fastest pitch on your staff today, 103.3. How nice of a weapon is that to have in your bullpen when he's healthy, to be able to come out there?
Yeah, it's pretty special. It's a special talent. You know, he's a young kid, but he's not scared, and he's definitely uncomfortable at bat. And to be able to deploy him and start to build the trust in him, I think that's very comforting for all of us. And I put him in some big spots, and he's passed every test. So, yeah, it's been fun, and I didn't appreciate it was 103 miles an hour, but it's a special arm.
We made a big deal about you guys falling out of first place. Is it nice to be able to jump right back in and get sole possession of the division again?
It feels good. I just think for me is, you know, obviously wins are great. We're going to sleep well tonight, be ready to win 3 tomorrow, but I'm just happy that we're playing better baseball. It just seems like we're playing clean baseball. We're minimizing the walks, taking walks, not making outs on the bases, converting outs when we need to. And, you know, when you have the talent that we do, you just got to kind of play good baseball. And if you do that, then we're going to win more than we lose. But so I think for me, that's the main thing. And, you know, we had a chance to win 3 against the Blue Jays a week ago. So we've got that same opportunity. You know, we know Darvish, we know what he's going to do, and we got our guy going tomorrow. So this is a good time to, you know, go for the jugular before we go to Denver.
You mentioned the need for length from your starting pitching. What does it mean to get 6 innings from your starters on back-to-back nights?
It's good. It's big. You know, we got some guys in the pen coming back, but, you know, to not redline these pen guys right now, I think that, you know, you look at our pen. You know, there's going to be 6 or 7 guys that are available tomorrow. I feel good about all of them to prevent runs. So, and that starts with Clayton and what Blake did tonight.
Do you think Shohei did his job as a leadoff hitter?
Yeah. I think Shohei, you know, clearly, you know, Cease wasn't going to get beat by Shohei. And so, to his credit, he was taking the walks, you know, passed the baton to the guys behind him. Allowed us to build some innings and not get too anxious. So, yes, Shohei's doing his job.
You know, back-to-back games with a home run for Teoscar. Just how big of a development is that for this offense, especially with Muncy out?
It's big. You know, you kind of had that sneaky suspicion that when the games start getting, the stakes start getting a little bit higher, Shohei really comes to play and loves these moments. And first time I got to see it was in New York last year against the Yankees. And obviously throughout the postseason, and so, you know, he's been a little funkier the last, you know, call it 5 weeks. But I had a good feeling that, you know, once those other guys showed up, he was going to perform, and that's what's happening.